First at 5. From the University of Florida's College of Journalism and Communications, you're watching WUFT News.
Welcome to WUFT News First at 5. I'm Shannon Taylor.
And I'm Samantha Chery. Thanks for joining us. The Gainesville mayoral election is 5 months away, but the race is already drawing a crowded field.
WUFT's Kendall Brandt is following the early stages of the race. Kendall, who will voters most likely see on the ballot in August?
Samantha and Shannon, voters should expect at least 5 candidates to be on the ballot. I spoke to the 5 candidates who have already filed for the race. The time clock is ticking on Gainesville Mayor Lauren Poe's term, and candidates have begun their campaigns. 2 joined the race within the past month, July Thomas and Ed Bolarski. Bolarski is the former chief of Gainesville Regional Utilities. He was let go in January, but still yearns to assist the city.
I've seen the way the city commission has devolved, and it really needs somebody at the top. It needs some leader that can take them through the dysfunction that they're now seeing.
Thomas filed to run March 10th. She is proud to be a transgender woman. Her focus is on the stability of local government and housing.
The people who work within the government come from one very narrow segment of society, and they don't interact a lot with the people downtown who serve them drinks and who make their food. And that's sort of the community that I've always come to these meetings to represent.
Harvey Ward has been a city commissioner for 5 years. He was born and raised in Gainesville.
This community means a lot to me. I have roots here. I feel like Gainesville's been very good to me, and I feel like it's my responsibility to be a part of this community. And
Donald Shepard is an everyday citizen who says he is running to restore integrity within local government.
That's why I wanted to run for mayor, to show the people that kind of integrity that is brought from God, not from only me, from God.
David Areola has been a city commissioner for 5 years. He's reached his commission term limit and wants to continue serving the city as mayor.
I want to keep serving right now because it's too critical of a time period to give up on that.
5 candidates, but with the qualifying deadline 3 months away, the number of candidates who qualify could change. The official qualifying period is from June 13th through the 17th, but you can file to run right now. That's all I have for now. Shannon, back to you.
Alachua County voters will receive new voter information cards following statewide redistricting. Every 10 years, Florida legislature redraws state lines to account for uneven population growth. New information cards are redistributed every time to coincide with the new district lines. Information cards are not a replacement for voter IDs, and the Director of Communications, Aaron Klein, and the Alachua County Elections Office expect maps to be updated soon.
Once they get us those maps, we can really take part in re-precincting and looking at what data and what precincts need to be changed and what don't, and then we can get the ball rolling. But what we can guarantee is the new voter information cards will be sent out before the August 23rd primary.
Changes to district lines must go through the Board of County Commissioners prior to approval. When received in the mail, residents should renew their cards in case their polling locations change. State lawmakers approved a budget deal today. The governor can make cuts, but that cut will likely set a record of up to $112 billion. The plan calls for more base funding for schools and $200 million to reward districts with high grades as long as they don't impose mass mandates. Another $200 million would lower that tax on gasoline for the month of October. As for sales tax, holidays, hurricane, back to school, and July 4th Freedom Week would return, along with a Labor Day period with no sales tax on tools commonly used by skilled trade workers.
The recent days of storms included a tornado strike in Marion County, which caused millions in damage. The National Weather Service says Saturday's tornado had winds as high as 110 miles per hour. The damage path was as much as 200 yards wide and stretched for about 25 miles from Denellen to Ocala. No injuries were reported, but there was a lot of damage to homes and businesses.
I came outside, I got greeted by a chair, hit me in the face, and then I knew we had a tornado going on. So I looked over and their roof just came right over into our yard, and trees were flipping. And now it's just cleanup. I mean, thank God nobody's hurt over there, and we're all safe. So.
The Red Cross sent a team to provide assistance to people who check in at the sheriff's office. The county property appraiser says the damage will total more than $12 million. Shannon, even when it wasn't scary, the weather was definitely soggy.
Fortunately, we're back to sunny days again. Julia Haley joins us with the first look at the forecast.
Starting off with partly cloudy skies for our Monday, some sunshine peeking outside of our studio, a little bit of a break from what we saw last week with all of that rain. 72 degrees with those northeasterly winds overall, giving us a little bit of a breeze. Overall, those temperatures right now sitting in the 70s and a little bit warmer along and west of I-75, 72 High Springs, 76 Bronson, and even 77 for Crystal River over near I-95, 68 Jacksonville, and also 74 Stark. For our hour by hour, starting in the upper 60s, but dropping into the mid 50s overnight, starting with those partly cloudy skies and even getting into overcast skies by the morning. Back to you.
Gas prices have soared 79 cents over the last 2 weeks.
The national average price for regular gas now sits at a record-setting $4.43 per gallon. Coming up on WUFT News First at 5, we will tell you how these steep prices are affecting one specific industry.
You're watching WUFT TV News.
Welcome back. The Russian assault on Ukraine is expanding with new targets in the south and west, as well as the capital city. And NBC's Alice Barr has the latest from Washington.
Today in Ukraine, little progress in peace talks amid rapidly expanding acts of war. Russian-launched airstrikes over the weekend, killing at least 35 at a military base in western Ukraine and landing just 20 miles from the Polish border at the doorstep of NATO territory the Biden administration has vowed to defend.
President Putin must stop the violence, de-escalate, and choose the path of diplomacy.
And with concerns growing about a Russia-China alliance, both countries now pushing back against reports that Russia has asked China for military equipment and other support.
If they think that they can basically bail Russia out, they can give Russia a workaround to the sanctions that we've imposed, they should have another thing coming.
The U.S. working to get an additional $200 million in military equipment to frontline Ukrainian forces, as Russia appears to be firing more indiscriminately at civilian targets, increasing the desperation and the will to fight back. The port city of Odessa preparing for an attack by sea.
Different ages, different languages, different cultures, all prepared to fight for Ukraine.
Ukrainian President Volodymyr Zelensky pushing Western leaders for more aggressive action. He's now set to address the U.S. Congress on Wednesday. Lawmakers and President Biden balancing pressure on the home front as the war adds to soaring inflation, driving grocery store sticker shock and forcing fuel prices to record highs. In Washington, Alice Barr, NBC News.
An American journalist and documentary filmmaker has been killed in Ukraine. 50-year-old Brandt died in a suburban of Kyiv. He was working for Time Studios on a story about refugees. A photographer traveling with Renault was also shot. He was hit in the lower back. Juan Arredondo talked as he was being treated at a hospital in Kyiv. He says that they were both shot while traveling in a vehicle after they stopped at a Russian checkpoint. More than 12.7 million children in the U.S. have tested positive for COVID since the start of the pandemic. That's according to the American Academy of Pediatrics. Some children's hospitals are researching why kids are also getting reinfected or getting long-term COVID, where symptoms persist long after the virus is gone. Vaccines have been approved for children 5 and older, and a mini-dose regimen is being studied for those between 6 months and 4 years of age.
Former President Barack Obama says he just tested positive for COVID-19. He made the announcement yesterday on Twitter. He noted he's had a scratchy throat for a couple days, but is otherwise feeling fine. He said his wife Michelle tested negative, and they're grateful to be vaccinated and boosted. Steep gas prices have some people scaling back on work. In this report from the NBC station in Denver, we see the impact on delivery drivers.
When the office is on wheels, work for people like John Hickman
Full time.
never ends.
Right now it says downtown's very busy and $2 extra per delivery.
Hickman is a delivery driver, spending 40 to 50 hours a week on the road, driving by gas prices that just keep rising.
I used to fill up for about $34 a tank, and now since it went up, I'm doing about 41.
While Hickman's fuel-efficient car isn't stopping him from delivering, it is forcing him to pause and decline a lot more orders that won't cover the cost of gas.
You got to think about your distance and how far you're going to go and how the rate of pay is going to be for the dash. And I've also seen with gas prices going up, a lot of people, they're not tipping as well either. So I think it might be affecting them too, as well as us, with gas prices going up.
So it's forced some delivery driving apps to take action. Uber announced a surcharge on fares and deliveries in response to the surging gas prices. The fees are temporary and will go to drivers responsible for paying for the gas they use.
I park right here, and then I do all the restaurants that are around right here in a 0.5 mile radius, and I don't take it further than 2-3 miles.
Hickman says he'll stick with delivering for now, as he and others hope a day at the office is a day well spent.
Have a good day.
Uber says the new surcharge for Uber Eats is 35 or 45 cents, depending on the location.
A system is bringing rain toward Gainesville. How long will this rain last? We'll be back with the full breakdown in a few minutes.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
A partly cloudy start to our Monday, but a little bit of sunshine peeking through outside of our studio. Currently 72 degrees with those northeasterly winds giving us a little bit of a breeze for today. Those temperatures sitting in the 70s right now, 76 for Ocala and west of I-75, seeing those warmer temperatures, 77 Crystal River and even 76 for Cedar Key. And east of I-75, we see 68 for Jacksonville, 68 St. Augustine, and 70 for Stark. Now tonight we should be seeing those temperatures dip from the upper 60s into the mid 50s, those partly cloudy skies turning overcast throughout the evening and into the morning. And of course, those overcast skies means we should be getting some rainy days ahead. That rain may interrupt that Florida State at Florida baseball game, starting off with those cloudy and overcast skies in the mid-afternoon. By the time the game starts, we may be seeing some thunderstorms and some rain as well, so you may want to bring a rain jacket with you. Of course, by the time the game gets out, those showers are looking to continue, and it looks like those showers will stay into Wednesday, as well as this warm front is going to bring the first round of showers into Orlando and into Gainesville as well Wednesday in the morning, and by Wednesday afternoon seeing that second round of showers in Gainesville and Jacksonville around mid-afternoon. Of course, that cold front moving out all of those showers by Thursday, so we should be seeing some clear skies ahead, meaning we are in luck for St. Patrick's Day. We will be seeing some sunny skies for our morning with those calm winds, and we will be warming up into the mid-70s by the afternoon. Of course, even warming up into the 80s by mid-afternoon with some partly cloudy skies overall, but sun still shining. Tuesday and Wednesday, seeing those showers and chance for thunderstorms. Thursday clearing up, perfect for St. Patrick's Day. And throughout the rest of the week, seeing a chance for one more system to pass through. Overall, sitting with highs in the upper 70s and lows in the mid 50s and lower 60s. Back to you.
Thanks, Julia. This weekend was very busy with a lot of sports news going on.
Yes, there was some big news for the Gators men's basketball team. Well, and we'll hear more about that after we come back.
You're watching WUFT-TV News.
Welcome back. I'm Jensen Young. It was a busy Sunday for sports news. Let's start with the Gator men's basketball team. Florida is searching for a new head coach after Mike White's abrupt move to Georgia. White spent 7 seasons with the Gators and made it to the NCAA tournament 5 times. This season, he coached them to a 19-13 record, but missed the NCAA tournament for the first time since his first season in 2016. The Gators are a 3 seed in the NIT bracket and will host Iona Wednesday at 9 p.m. On the other hand, the UF women's basketball team is turning around their misfortunes from the past few seasons. Florida is in the NCAA tournament for the first time since 2016. The Gators were selected to be a number 10 seed in the tournament. They will travel to Connecticut for a first-round matchup with in-state rival UCF. These programs have never met in the postseason, but in all of their previous 25 meetings, Florida has never lost to the Knights. The Gators received some postseason honors, with Kiki Smith being named first-team All-SEC and Alberta Rimdahl on the SEC All-Freshman team. Gator head coach Kelly Ray Finley says Smith knew this team could be successful.
Yeah, I think I told a story maybe last week after the SEC tournament of Kiki Smith. And I remember very vividly being in our team room and her saying, "I don't know what it is, but I believe in this group. I believe in us wholeheartedly, and I know we're going to do something special."
The Gators are adding yet another championship to the trophy case with the women's track and field team's success over the weekend. The Gators won their 11th NCAA Indoor National Championship for the track and field program, the second for the women's team. They entered Saturday with a narrow lead over the rest of the field, but ended up winning the title with 3 events to spare. The Gators won 5 individual titles, which is just the second time that has been achieved in history. The Gator baseball team moves up to number 9 in the D1 baseball rankings after winning 2 of 3 games against Seton Hall. The Gators are now 13-4 on the season and will take on Florida State tomorrow. Head coach Kevin O'Sullivan says the offense struggled, but he was happy to give pitcher Nick Pogue his first innings of the season.
Offensively, we weren't very good the first half of the ball game. I think we struck out 9 times in the first 5 innings. It was good to get Nick back out there, and unfortunately we went to the pen. We weren't able to find the strike zone, and we fell behind. And their starter kept throwing strike after strike.
Tom Brady is coming back for another season with Tampa Bay, his 23rd season in the NFL. Brady played 20 seasons with the New England Patriots before his last 2 with Tampa Bay. Brady retired just 40 days ago, but on Sunday he tweeted that his place is still on the field but not in the stands. He says he loves his teammate and his supportive family. Last season he led the Bucs to the NFC divisional round and became the first player in NFL history to throw 600 passing touchdowns in his career. That's your local sports news. Let's take one last look at the weather.
Starting off our Monday evening with those cloudy skies starting in the mid-60s but cooling down into the mid-50s overnight. Overall, let's take a look at that 6-day outlook starting on Tuesday and into Wednesday, seeing that thunder, but starting on Thursday, seeing some sunny skies ahead. Saturday, one more chance for rain. Sunday, clear again. Overall, highs in the upper 70s. Back to you.
Thanks, Julia. BBC World News is next, and the PBS NewsHour is coming up at 7.
But your Florida news is always on at WUFT.org. Have a good night.